So let us say it's 35%. And in other words, that almost half of Trump voters do believe that Joe Biden won honestly. It would still be tens of millions of Americans who don't believe that. Would that be unprecedented?
No, I suspect half of Al Gore supporters in 2000 believed the same thing after the Bush v. Gore recount. We'll get over this, but it does show that we have a fundamental problem with our system. We take it for granted. We don't ensure its accuracy, its completeness, or its speed, frankly. In fact, we have slower election results than we've had in 100 years. So we do have lots of things to worry about, but there's no crisis of legitimacy.
Good. I hope you're right. I don't fully believe that the Gore situation is parallel. First of all,
it's parallel only that Al Gore voters believed it was. That's all.
No, that's very fair. But they didn't believe that there was voter fraud. They believed that there was a political manipulation in the Supreme Court with regard to Florida Supreme Court voting.
Fair enough.
So, okay, that's all I'm saying. You're right that there was a large body of people who didn't believe in the result, but their reasoning was different from the reasoning today. Is that fair to say?
I think you're correct.
Okay, so now that was the point, the one that I wanted to make. So I began by asking you if you had to bet your right leg. By the way, I've reflected on it, or left leg. I just want you to...
Actually, I always prefer to bet my extreme right leg.
That's very cute. That's your non-woke leg. Your non-woke leg. That's fair enough. So, if it's an unfair question, that's fine. I'm not going to belabor the point. It sounds to me like whether through incompetence or direct cheating, you're skeptical of some of the states.
Yes. And the problem that we face as a practical matter is this. This is not a governor's race. This is not a Senate race or a school board race. This is the presidency. It operates under a different set of rules, the Electoral College. What that means is that by December 8th, which is less than 30 days from now, the states must certify and send the names of the Electoral College members to Washington. And on December 14th, the Electoral College meets, and they elect a president. And the time frame here for all of the normal complaints, the lawsuits, the gathering of evidence of irregularities, is very truncated. It's less than 30 days, and it's extremely difficult to present a huge body of evidence that's compelling the judges to not just not certify an election, but to overturn an election and give it to another candidate.
The president has made reference frequently to going to the Supreme Court. What would he go to the Supreme Court with?
Well, there's an example where I think he might win. In Pennsylvania, the rogue Supreme Court there, the state Supreme Court, ignored state law. They said you can send in ballots 3 days after the election. They don't have to be postmarked. They don't even have to have a signature verification. That's outrageous. The Supreme Court tied before the election 4-4 on whether that case was ripe for hearing. I think it's very likely the Supreme Court may look at that case in the next week or 10 days. The problem is we know the number of ballots that were sent in that way because the Friday deadline is passed, and it's probably not enough to affect the outcome.
Yeah, that's what exactly. Is there any other case the Supreme Court, in your eyes, would take?
If there's clear and compelling evidence and state courts do not provide relief, if, for example, in Nevada, where I think there was real hanky-panky, if it was shown that 30,000 people who'd moved out of state after they lost their jobs on the Las Vegas Strip after COVID actually voted and they shouldn't have, and there was compelling evidence of that, that might be an example, but it's extremely difficult to assemble that case in a few days.
Right. So finally, I'll need a quick one because of the time frame. The Libertarian Party candidate, Joe Jorgensen, exceeded Joe Biden's margin over President Trump in 4 states. Do you think that had an impact on the outcome?
This is one of the great myths of American politics.
All right, I'll have to hold you on. I have no idea what he's going to say. John Fund is my guest. I'm Dennis Prager.